Right, today I want to share with you 4 things that I'm going to be doing in August 2020 that is going to grow my Amazon arbitrage business to £1 million over the next 18 months. Stay tuned. Okay, if you don't know, I'm on a mission right now to do £1 million in the next 18 months. Now, if you haven't watched that video, have a look up there. But this whole journey, everything that I'm doing between now and then is about getting me there. Now, not only that, but I'm doing it as well, pretty much living the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week. I'm a big believer of working on your business rather than in your business. So I want to talk through about the 4 things which I'm going to be doing to work on my business this month that is going to make a big difference to getting me to that £1 million goal. And hopefully it's going to give you insight that's going to help you in your Amazon business. So let's list them now and let's crack on. 4 things that I want to go through are, number 1, reporting. Probably one of the most important things that you might not be doing right now. Number 2, I'm going to be looking at cash flow and how I manage my cash flow. And I'm going to talk to you about what we're doing already in that. And I'm going to get your opinion and share with you as well. Number 3, we've done Repricer Automation's version 2.0, and I'm going to be watching the results of them. And I'm going to talk you through what I've done in my automations. And then number 4, final thing which I've done is defining what a good deal looks like. This is 80-20 stuff, and there is a really big takeaway that we have learned already, which I'm going to share with you at the very end. If you've got a VA, this is game changing. So be sure to stay tuned for that bit. Right, I mentioned it earlier, I'm on a mission to do £1 million over the next 18 months. See, I've done the video, I've talked about my plan to do it, I've even done the Excel spreadsheet, so be sure to watch that video. I'm going to be making a lot of changes in my business over the next 18 months to get me towards that goal. Now, the one thing which I really understand is before you make any changes, before you do anything in your business, you should start to measure what is happening, and then you can see if that change is positive or if it's negative. The first challenge that I set myself over this month, or I have done already, but I'm going to be watching the results of, is about reporting. Now, if I break this down really simply, we've created an Excel spreadsheet, and it's really simple, and I will go through it with you in a video. But the Excel spreadsheet breaks it down. It talks about revenue, profit, margin, ROI. That is what I'm looking at. It talks about all my VAs, including my purchasing manager and where they're achieving. It looks at my inventory and where we're at, and particularly now with Amazon doing the changes going into 2020 or going into December around IPI scores. But I'm also looking at, number 1, what's my inventory churn? So 0 to 30 days, 60 to 90, or 0 to 60 and then 60 to 90. And then not only that, but also as well, what is going on with my stock? So how long it takes for me to the day I purchase an item of stock to the moment it gets shipped to the warehouse, to get it into Amazon and also on sale and then actually sold. That is really important because that is the liquidity of money. That is the velocity of the money that I'm investing. And there's some really interesting stuff we've learned about that as well. So I'm reporting that on a weekly basis. And what we're trying to do is to, number 1, just highlight what's going on. So understand what is happening in our business across certain areas which we're going to focus on. And then number 2 is once we understand that, is to say we can then put a spotlight on that operation or that area and look to improve the efficiency of it. And it is by making small 2mm shifts across my whole business in various different areas at all times, which is going to drive my business forward. So number 1, what am I doing next month? I've built with my team a KPI dashboard, and this is something separate to the ultimate sourcing sheet, but this is a KPI dashboard which basically tells me revenue, profit, where my stock is, what's going on, and how my VAs are all performing. And it's quite simple, but it's about measuring the right metrics are going to get me the right results. Because hey, if you can measure it, you can manage it. But also as well, if you put focus on something, it will make a change. And if you focus on the wrong things, then you know what, that doesn't work. So we've amalgamated a lot of the data from things like Seller Toolkit, from Amazon Seller Central, from our own software, from the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet, and brought it all together just to give me a really clear dashboard, which just allows me to see the change in my business every single week. That's it. That's all I'm interested in. And I'll share that with you in a video over the course of this month, which is part of that journey to do 1 million. Okay, so look, number 2 is cash flow. If I want to be doing 1 million in 18 months, it's going to take cash. You know, Amazon eats cash. And the biggest thing about it is every single time I have money in the bank, that is money wasted, doing nothing, and I don't earn any money from it. So having that money invested at all times in stock is going to be super key. Now, there's a big part about it, managing your income, expenses, but also as well ensuring that you've got enough liquidity in your business so you can remain afloat, but you don't have too much that obviously you haven't got it invested. A lot of what I'm going to be looking at is driving my cash flow. I want to optimize the amount of money that I can spend in my Amazon arbitrage business every single week, pretty much down to about a couple of £100. I want to know that within £500, everything is invested. Right now, we're looking, and I've got sometimes 5 figures of cash to invest. We're not including credit cards here, but like that is a lot of cash just floating around that I should be having in stock. But because of poor cash flow management, it's not. So number 2, I want to work on my cash flow. Now, I just want to ask you a question, because is it just me who is not spending all my money, or do you always have enough deals to spend? I appreciate we all have different amounts of money you've got to invest, but drop it down below. If you are spending all your cash every single week, I mean, you literally have nothing in the bank account, or do you have money spare? I want to know, because hey, maybe when I make that video, when I'm looking at it, I'll have a thought about what you're doing, and maybe I can share some insights into that and how I might do it differently based on your cash flow experiences. So drop it down below, let me know your thoughts. Okay, so look, before I jump into the next one, which is repricing, I just want to say the final thing I'm going to be talking about is quite simply, what is a deal? Now, this is an exercise we've already kind of done in part, but there was a really interesting thing that we took away from it, which if you've got a VA is going to make a real difference to the way they source, or should we say the way they perceive sourcing. And it's had a real impact on our business already. So stay tuned for that. But let me now talk about the third thing I want to talk about, which is Repricer Express, which is what I use. And I use it because it has automations. Now, what does this mean? If you don't know what automations are, it's basically whereby my sources, they will find a product. They will recommend a minimum price. It might be like a 0 price or 20% or 30% or 50% ROI. It doesn't matter. They'll pass that to my purchasing manager. My purchasing manager will agree or disagree and change it. And then from the moment we buy it, it's in a workflow, and then it goes into Repricer Express once it goes live. Now that minimum price will go on to the repricing software, and what we do from there is based on certain criteria, i.e. how long that stock item has been in stock, we'll change what rules are on. So for example, it might be that my first rule comes in and say, hey, you know, the recommended sell price, and just match the buy box. That's it. We want to play quite nice, not a problem. And then if it hasn't sold after a certain amount of time, we might be like, okay, bring that price down a bit. And then we'll wait a bit longer. And if it hasn't sold a bit longer after that, we'll bring the price down a bit more. And then if it hasn't sold a bit longer after that, we'll bring it down more. Now, interestingly enough, automations allow you to make those changes. So we've already got it set up within Repricer Express, whereby it will change between different rules. And what we're already seeing is that our stock is just moving. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, some stock isn't selling as profitably as we wanted. But you know what? It's getting sold and we're making money. And it might not be as much as we wanted, but at the end of the day, we're looking for just churning that stock. Get it in, get it out. It improves our inventory health, improves a lot of stats, and also as well, it's not dead money. Stock which hasn't sold is dead stock. So you don't make your money until it's sold, even if it's potential profit, it isn't realized until you sell. So for me, those automations make a real difference, and they just speed up our process. Now, I have a lady who does my repricing for me. I let you into a secret. She was doing 1 to 2 hours a day. This is probably about 6 months ago. Now she does maybe 1 hour a week tops on repricing. And you know, I'm doing £35,000 a month, not a small amount. We've got about 170 SKUs right now, and it's pretty automatic. And the only thing she actually does is every day is pretty much download an Excel sheet, get the minimum prices and upload it for all the new stock that we haven't got. So super, super simple, really easy, and it's something that I don't have to deal with. Now, this month into August, what am I looking at? Well, interesting enough, while we have these rules they've made fantastic, we've noticed some problems in them. So what we're doing and what we've been looking at already is introducing things like when we're in a price war. So if we're against someone else on on another repricer and your prices go down, 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 we want the repricer to understand this and then change to a different rule. Maybe sit above the competition so that we don't have that repricing war. Wait maybe a week, let's see if it sells out, and then we can then go back to resume the normal rule. So this is about protecting margin, because we've seen certain products, especially high selling ones, there's a lot of competition, we might get into a price war. So there's certain tweaks we want to make to that automation flow, which is going to have a real impact into driving our margin and improving that. And hey, at the end of the day, yes, I do want £1 million in revenue, but anyone can do £1 million in revenue at no profit. I still want to make profit. And you know what? Stopping price wars is going to be key. So number 3, automations, Repricer Express version 2.0. And I'll record a video and let you know about it. Right, number 4 is, what is a deal? This is something we want to be looking at. And this is something which I have done with many sellers through the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. And if you want to know, the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet does this automatically, but we wanted to do this manually in my business. What is it? It's understanding how your business works. Let's say, for example, last year you bought £100,000 worth of stock. Take all of that stock that you ever bought, group it into the stores, and then work out how much money you spent in each store. Now, I'm assuming most stores will generally make about the same amount of profit, unless they're not. You might be one's making 20% ROI, the other one's making 40% ROI. Yeah, I get that. But you know what? There is going to be a massive disproportionate amount of money spent in a certain store versus other ones. I'm a big believer in the 80-20 rule. And you know what? To achieve that, and in 4 hours a week, I'm going to have to be focusing on the 80-20 rule. I'm going to get out, I'm going to stop sourcing from those 20% of stores that just don't work. My purchasing manager is stopping that. He's going to tell my team, you know what, the likes of Boots, stop. We are not sourcing from Boots. It's a waste of our time. But then also as well, what we're really looking at is saying, where are we spending our money? We should be focusing on them. So this is an area that I want to be looking at massively over August 2020, because you know what, if I can nail down the top stores, what kind of products we're buying, even the top ASINs, and get them replenished, thinking about Q4, absolutely game changing. Now, the thing I talked about earlier, i.e. understanding what's going on with VAs, this is very much about understanding what a good deal is. Now, for us, we were looking at this analysis. A VA might normally have a day-to-day metric of number of deals. Even in my business, we don't actually KPI VAs on number of deals. We KPI them on estimated profit and then actual profit earned. And we do that through our Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. But still on a day-to-day basis, they report what store they went to and then how many deals they found. And you know what? One deal is not the same as another deal. If I give you a really good example, one deal from Boots, where you can only buy 3 of the stock and it's got a very high possibility of cancellations, isn't the same as one deal from Superdrug, where you can buy 99 items and it's very unlikely to get cancelled. They are 2 very different deals. To a VA, one deal is one deal, and that's what they look at. So what we decided to do is to stop reporting deals. We do not talk about how many deals you have found anymore. We don't care, because if you find 2 deals from Boots, that isn't equal to 1 deal from Superdrug. So in their eyes, 2 deals from Boots is better than the 1 hit, but it isn't. So what do we report now? How much can they spend? So we take the spend, the buy price of the product, and multiply it by how much they recommend we can buy. And if they come back to us and say, hey, Boots, yeah, we can buy 99. No, we don't accept that. We get them to change it and they soon learn. And do you know what's been really interesting? Our VAs are now making a proactive, and this isn't us telling them to do it, they're changing it. They're going to stores where they can order higher volumes. Why? Because they want to get that daily spend up, because that's the thing we're measuring every single day. Weekly, we look at estimated profit, but on a day-to-day, we no longer care about deals, we care about spend. And it's really interesting. It's had a profound impact upon my purchasing manager and how much he can buy. So, top tip for you, if you don't know, stop getting your VAs to talk, record anything about number of deals found. We don't care about that. Move it to the number of deals they can buy multiplied by the buy price, because you care about spending money, not just how many deals. It doesn't add value to your business. Change that, and that is going to have a profound impact upon how your VAs perceive sourcing. Understand what a good deal looks like, because no one wants to work hard. We all want to work smart, and we want to source from the 80% top stores and just spend a little bit more time there getting all the top deals. Right, hopefully you have enjoyed that video. Smash that like button if it has been useful, because you know what? This is what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to help you get there, to change the way you think about working in your business and start working on it. I'm a big believer in working smart, not hard. And I'm not saying you've got to work 4 hours, but just take some of the ideas behind it and really challenge, am I adding value to my business or am I just doing the work? If you want to see how I've done it, I created a video, I documented it, I'll drop it around here somewhere. That's a really good one to watch. From me, Thomas Parkinson, here in Vietnam and in my house. You know, I'm a bit sorry, I didn't get a chance to get out. July has just been too busy. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to catching up with you with some really good information later on.